Welcome to today's video. Today I am going to be giving part of my home office a makeover and turning it from this to this. And I'm going to walk you through what I did. But first, I just want to say my clothing brand is going to be having a Black Friday sale starting on Veterans Day and going until Cyber Monday. I have t-shirts, hoodies, hats. So I'll leave the link in the description below if you want to check it out. Now to today's project adventure. So to start out, I measured where the wall and ceiling meet to see if it was level, and I'm not sure how I got so lucky with it being level, but I'll take the W when I can. Since it was level, I was able to start the first panel flush with the ceiling. I also measured the wall from both sides so I would know where to start the first piece since I am not paneling the whole wall. I had to call in some reinforcement to help me make sure the panel was level before placing it against the wall, so shout out to my mom for coming in clutch. Now I am measuring and marking where I need to make my cuts. After I cut the first piece, I did place it against the wall where it would be to make sure I made the correct measurements before I cut the rest of the pieces. I had to call in some reinforcement again to help hold the panels while I cut them. There were also two pieces that needed to be cut to fit around outlets, and I kid you not, it took me about 2 hours to cut out the outlets on the panel using a jigsaw. I didn't record it, but just know your girl was struggling, but also made the right measurements and cuts for both pieces on the first try. Now, since the wall is longer than a full piece, I decided to cut the pieces and place them at the top of the wall and at the bottom, so it will have a floor-to-ceiling look when it is finished, since I don't have enough panels to keep them at full length. And I also didn't have to remove the TV mount from the wall. By doing it this way, I had enough scrap pieces to fill in the gaps at the bottom, and I did purposely make the top pieces longer than the bottom, you will see later on in this video, but if I could go back, I would make them the same size. As you can see here, the slats detached from the backing where I made the cuts, so I used Gorilla Super Glue and clamped them together for a couple of minutes to adhere them back together. Now I am sanding the edges of the panels where I made the cuts for a smooth finish. I don't know what grit sandpaper I was using, but it was not an aggressive one. Okay, now for the fun part. I am using an adhesive glue to adhere the panels to the wall. I did also use black screws where there were studs for some extra support. Alright, so after I am done applying adhesive to this piece, the panels on the wall will not look symmetrical because I messed up the starting point of the first piece a little bit, and so I decided to keep this piece full instead of cutting it like the others because there was no need to cut it since the TV mount was not going to be in the way of this piece. And I do have enough scrap pieces to fill in the gaps at the bottom, but trust me, the final result still turned out amazing. In order to make the TV center with the paneling since it's off, I did shift it to the right a little bit so it does end up looking even at the end. This is the TV stand that I got. My office is in the basement, so it gets really cold down here, so having a built-in fireplace comes in handy. It also has 3 different color features on it, which is pretty cool.